The European people should not have to pay the price for the actions of their corrupt leaders who are dancing to the tune of foreign masters. The European people should not have to pay the price for the actions of their corrupt leaders who are dancing to the tune of the foreign master.
Welcome to Blowhard Radio. I'm your host, Robert Mason, real life UFO experiencer and the author of the book, The Higher Cause. Tonight's show is with Mirabai Butler from the USA. Hello, Mirabai. You know that I've written a book, and I'm pretty sure you've got a copy of it, and I'm pretty sure you've read it because we went through all that stuff together trying to get my book finished. Is that right?
I've read your book many times because the way you wrote it really down to earth. And it wasn't so much about being politically correct or anything like that. It was a man telling his story. And so each time I read it, I pick up on something else that you're saying or take what you're saying on a deeper level. It's a great book. It really is. It's a great book. By your, I think by you sharing your experiences, there are so many people out there, myself included, by the way, but there's so many people out there who've had experiences not exactly like yours, but they have had abductee type experiences with no one to talk to. So when you come out and you write a book about it, or even on your page when you comment on it, it means a lot to people just to know that there's somebody out there who will understand what they had.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it. But like even just like the seconds before my major UFO experiences, before they occurred, like seconds beforehand, you could have told me that was going to happen, and I would never have believed you. You know, then it happened, and then it's been up to this moment of like trying to figure it all out and what it all means, and not so much convince other. I don't try to convince anyone, but like trying to demonstrate and show other people what happened. And do you agree that you've been quite a big part of my or you've been quite a part of my story now as well with the crop circles? What happened with the crop circles?
Yeah, I would say that I've been part of that because it really affected my life. So I would say, yeah, I was part of that. And it's not that I didn't believe you. I didn't really understand that you were drawing these things before they appeared. And when you sent the one that is in your picture that I got for my birthday,
Yep.
that was amazing because I saw it with my own eyes. I mean, you said, well, let's try it this way. And you sent me a picture of your hand. And I think that's really interesting that you use your hand for a billboard for these. I think that's inspired by the UFO people, your old mates, you call them, because
Old
you know
mates,
the
that's
hand,
right.
because the hand is so significant. And you drew this picture, and then there it was a couple of weeks later, and I was just shocked. You know, it's not that I was laughing at you or didn't believe you, Robert. I just had never seen anything like that and didn't quite understand what was going on.
Yep.
So it was a major celebration for me that I had met someone that I call a hybrid, but just a guy that had that ability.
Yeah, understanding the gravity of the situation is quite powerful. Yeah, I'm still here. You, Mirabai, you there?
Okay, I got knocked off, so I had to get back on.
Well, that's all right. Sorry about that.
Okay, what I was saying, Robert, was that you really impacted me. Different things that you did really impact who I am. And I have a lot of experience in that area, the paranormal area. And that's why I connect the two, because the UFO phenomena, because one reason is from interacting with you. And so much of what you said was psychic, what people over here would call psychic. And just there's just so much that it seemed like it started after your UFO experience, you said. So I connect the two. And you don't realize it. You've even told me in the past, yeah, you were laughing at me because you were like I was saying, almost everything was psychic, that you did, but you did not understand that when you would call me or text me or whatever, it would be exactly when I was thinking about you. And so it was tripping me out. And then you would make other comments about me personally that I would be like, well, how in the hell did he know that? And so I started watching your gift grow and become stronger.
Yeah, because as I said before, I've been trying to figure it all out. Like what's that like when you have these experiences, or when the UFOs decide to grab you. It's not like they give you a instruction manual or like instructions on what to do next, or they don't tell you what basically what the plan is or what you've got to do is next. I've just been trying to figure it out myself, and I suppose that's why I wanted to find out if it was you who found me, or if I found you originally, because it's just one of them things where for some reason I felt as though you would be important.
I think that what
and
my thought on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
so I just wanted to say that I felt as though that I was drawn to yourself, to talk to you about this stuff, and for whatever reason, and then which led to the crop circle stuff happening. So you're a pivotal part in my story, and thankful.
Well, what I would tell people, Robert, is do not contact me on Messenger. Generally, I don't talk to people in that way. I mean, I have clients and things like that, but I don't do that on Messenger. And there was something special about you. You're the only person that I have discussions with on Messenger to that extent. I mean, I might do a minute or so with nieces or nephews or family for a particular reason, but I would, or you were ready to boom, like you would have all of these messages that I could see were really important for people to hear, for me to hear, but for other people to hear. And then there would be some interruption, just like now with this conversation. I've never been knocked off of a Zoom meeting, and it's happening now. This is the third time, so I'm just saying, well, this is what happens, and there's always. So I know that there's something else trying to interfere, and I don't know what it is trying to interfere, or maybe it's just the energy. But I knew there was something really special to you, and I have never felt as connected with no reason with anyone as I have been with you. And it's like also, generally people come to me with questions or whatever, but I come to you with questions. And I listen to you and I watch your interferences also. And I just feel like that just means to me that you have something that people really need to hear. And why I enjoy reading your book, and the way we would talk, it made no sense at all, age-wise, race-wise, any type of way, for me to talk to someone your age and you be on the level that you are. And then I said, oh, he's ancient for real. He's an ancient soul for real. And so that's why I talk to you all the time, or try to talk to you. But that's also why I back away when I see that other people might need more time with you, or you just need a break or whatever. I always wait till you contact me for that reason, because you have so much on your plate and so many people wanting your attention.
Thanks, Mirabai. You're very kind.
Well, that's the truth. That's the truth. And so when you okay, got knocked off again.
Again, yeah.
I don't know who doesn't want you to do this, or who it's like, I know there's competition, and you aren't competitive in that way. You're a very competitive person, but you're not competitive in that way because it's so much a part of who you are. And so no one can take that away from you. So it kind of cracks me up in a way when I see people trying to interfere, because it's like, look, this man's been doing it thousands of years, maybe. So I don't think it's going to be taken away. It might be a pause or whatever, but you have a message to get out there. And I respect that. And I just don't respect that in a lot of people. I mean, let me take that back. I respect it, but I don't listen. And I listen to you because I feel like I should.
Thank you. Yep.
Also, go on, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Keep going. I love the
Your
compliments.
message is so different. Your abduction was so different from most abductions that you hear about. And that's why I call it an induction. And I've heard you refer to it as an induction because these people already know you and they're not up there examining you or anything. It just feels like they might call you up to ask you a few questions about about what's going on here or whatever. But I don't know exactly why. But it's not an abduction. It wasn't against your will, and you have so much proof, so much evidence.
Yep.
I've seen your evidence. I've heard your documentary, and I've seen the growth, and the growth is really not in the knowledge that you get. It's the knowledge that you're willing to put out there for other people to share, because you already have the knowledge. You already have it.
Yeah. Would you agree that it's quite unique? The evidence that I have for my experiences is quite unique. Like, it's almost, I've not seen any other photos or videos quite like it.
That's the fifth time, Robert.
It disconnected, but it's still there. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I got knocked off again, but I'm back.
And would you agree that my evidence, evidence of my experiences with the UFOs is very rare and unique, and it's like, it's so unbelievable and it's so just in your face right there that it's almost hard to believe what you're seeing on the evidence.
I know it is, and it would be for a lot of people. Now, doing what I do, the way I am, it's not a problem for a lot of people that I know, but really, even in my family, after listening to your interview, it was a point of, they were like, wow, they started telling about, I had an experience too. And this is what people are going to do. And some of my nieces and nephews, they're like, I've really been wanting to talk to somebody about it. And I said, why didn't you say anything? Well, I didn't say anything because I didn't know if people would believe me, but this guy would believe me.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you're going to help people, it's like validating their experience by your great experience, which is different, but it was still with UFOs.
Yeah.
I think it was on a higher level, that's all.
Yeah. And like you're seeing the probably the issues I had with trying to get this program and the conversation to take place. It's not like I could just make up such an extravagant lie and maintain it for this long. It's the honest truth. Everything that I've said about it's the honest truth, and I'm not someone that ever makes up stories, and I despise people that are dishonest. So I thank you, Mirabai, and I real recognize real, as they would say, I suppose. But with the crop circles and with yourself, as I was saying, as I got to what drew me to you was, I also wanted you to try and help me write my book. Is that right?
Oh my goodness.
Are you still there, Mirabai?
I thought I was going to die when you were writing that book, or we were going through that whole process, because once again, the same way you talk and how you just talked just now, it's like you already know what you want and you already know what to say. Like when you got fed up and you were like, you know what, I'm going to write it myself. And you wrote it so fast. Robert, I call you magical, and I'm not well, I guess I am kind of that person because my grandkids call me the magical grandma. But for whatever reason it is, I believe you and the experiences that you have and that you share. And I just want you to share. And I feel like there was a reason, we've talked about that before, that we were brought together because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And we both have extreme tempers and things like that.
Hmm.
But the fact is that we could hang with each other and we balance each other out in that way because you have a message, and I know that. And I just feel like when I met you, I felt like when you first started talking about your experiences,
Yeah.
I felt like this has got to get out of there. People got to hear it. And then I watched the competition come from other people, or you feeling blocked or whatever. But I still hang because I feel like it's really important, and it's going to be a joyful day in my life when you get out there. And you're out there more than you realize, I think, because you're a perfectionist. But so you're already out there, but when you really get out there the way you want to get out there, I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah, thanks, including myself, I think, as well. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, well, I'm serious. I'm not paying compliments. I'm just saying the truth. I think I told you even when I was a little girl, I mean, I would have dreams about meeting this person. I didn't know if it would be a male or female that I was just supposed to be around. And then things started falling into place. First of all, when I could take your nonsense, and I just could not leave. We were laughing about that, blocking each other.
Yeah.
So I knew we were connected because we couldn't do it. None of us could do it. One of us would be, back in a minute looking for a friend request from the other one, and I felt like there was a reason for that. I'm not like that. I am not like that. And when I say goodbye, I say goodbye. For whatever a person says goodbye to me, it's goodbye. I was with my last husband 32 years. So, and said goodbye. I mean, we said goodbye, and I never wanted contact anymore. That's just how I am. I couldn't do that with you. I feel like you had a valuable message, and it was very important, and I was very blessed to know you. So I didn't want to not have contact with you because I was waiting to see the impact that you have on people. And even just from that interview, the impact you had on some nieces and nephews, I said, this is great. And I see it all the time from the outside, even on Facebook, the way people interact with you or what they like or dislike or whatever. And you're just real casual about it, like it's no big deal. And I'll be thinking, Robert, that was a lot of people. But they're drawn to you, and I'll be glad when other people meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully, my sense of humor doesn't discourage people in
Well, you do great photoshops too. Okay, that's a joke. But the thing is that you have a lot of skills. You have a lot of physical skills. You draw. You have everything that has to do with communication. You can do. You can write. You can draw. You could sing. You could do anything to do with communications. Even your cute little dance at the end of your video. Your what do you call that, documentary? I said he can even dance. So these are all, everything that comes to you points towards communicating, Robert. I mean, this is how I see it. And I said he's supposed to be communicating with people.
Yeah, and just for the record, so just going back to when we're working together, before I'd finished writing the book, and I suppose thinking back now, it had happened before we'd even started talking. But in 2015, when I drew a picture of that Elvis bird, or the Elvis John Lennon looking type of bird creature, which was made into crop circles as well. Do you remember that? And I showed you that, and I said, "Oh, I would like to add this to my book." it's not just a storybook, it's an actual telling of what actually happened. It's like a statement, or it's it's like, as you know, it's by
Yeah,
official thing.
I get nervous about making statements. I'm nervous now,
Yeah,
as far as you're concerned, because you're very meticulous. But like I said, the thing about your book is it's like sitting in the same room and you just started talking. And people can really relate to that. I can really relate to that. I was like, it's just like sitting in the room and he's talking about these fantastic experiences, like when they help you find your brother,
yeah,
from the air, and you knew to
yeah,
do that. That's big stuff, Robert. And to you, it was just something casual. It's like, yeah, but this is what happened. They did this,
yeah,
and you didn't doubt it. You followed them. You knew to follow them, and that just to me, with your book and your conversations, and even when you're just trying to act like a normal person your age, and those people are around you and things like that, you just still comes out in this place, pretty special place alone.
yeah,
You're still like a cut above the rest. You're always on this deeper level somewhere inside.
yeah, the higher calls. But like um, I was gonna say was um, well, with my experiences, whether it's finding my brother, like you said that night, or whether it's my abduction photos or the video I have from the 2 nights before, or whether it's the crop circle evidence, I always have witnesses, often multiple witnesses, and if not witnesses, I'll have witnesses and video evidence or photo evidence. And so, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you, because you're one of my witnesses, and and um, you agree? Do you agree that you witnessed with the crop circle event when I said I drew it on my hand and I took a picture and I sent it to you and I said, let's see if they make this into a crop circle. And then, as you said, well, week or two later, they did. And then that was the second time. And then the third time was when I drew the same similar symbol on my hand, opened up, and then they replied with that the similar crop circle with obviously their language in written. I can't decipher it, but would you agree to that, Mirabai, or in your words?
Well, what it is with me is, you mean as far as the crop circles?
Yeah, because do you agree that you're
Yeah, you
witness?
know what? I was fascinated by them, but until I started listening to you and what's your relationship with it. And I imagine that there are other people out there also rare, but that they're doing them, and that's let's see, what am I trying to say? They're doing them for a reason. They're doing them with a message. I got that from you. I got that knowledge from you, and I started looking at them different, and that there was a pattern. And to me, like these fools will pop up and say, well, they did them or whatever, but there's a difference, even if there was one real one, that proves what you're saying.
But yeah,
And I've
Mirabai,
seen that and I've seen that.
do you agree that you're a witness to my crop circle
Yes,
evidence?
I am. That's what I'm saying, Robert. I'm
Yeah,
a big time witness, to the point where people probably want to lock me up. I'm
yeah,
careful
yeah,
talking about it
yeah,
without, without you being present, because it's such a big deal. And I remember recently you were busy trying to figure them out, because there was a message you knew
yeah,
that you could figure out. And I said, this guy's sitting up there spending hours knowing, which I know is true now, that there's a message there for all of us that they need you to translate.
yeah. I'll need someone to help me. I'll definitely need help with it, I think.
But yeah, I'm a witness to that. I'm a witness to chatting with you, and you're saying, okay, well, I'm going to go outside now.
Hmm.
you would say, well, I'm going to go outside and, look for some UFOs. And then a few hours later, you would be writing in your manifesto, your journal. That's going to be your public journal.
Yep.
That's proving it, and you would have more information, and you would have seen them. So it was like, still there was a communication going on. You knew to go outside then.
Yep. And
And yes, I'm a witness to all of that. It changed my life. I have to say it changed my life. I have nothing to gain. So when I tell you that it changes my life and spiritually, I think it's important. And you're one of those people, you know, there are different people for different reasons. I'll put here to be part of that puzzle, to figure out that puzzle we're all trying to figure out. And I think is very important. And yes, I am a witness. I'm a definite witness with my own eyes and ears.
thank you so much, Mirabai.
It's the truth. It's really the truth. And when you say thank you, it makes me feel like you think I'm paying you a compliment, and I'm not. I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
it's stuff that I've seen and heard myself. And another person that I really admire, and I said, wow, you know, her heart is a full heart, is your mother, because to have a son, I think about Mary a lot. I grew up Catholic when I was little, but I would always think about Mary a lot and watching her son, you know, and coming to that realization who he was and what his task was, and watching his suffering from doing what he had to do. And your mom comes to mind when I think about that, because she's gone through similar. I'm not saying you're Jesus, Rob. I'm not that far gone. But something special of with a mother having to watch her son suffer and be labeled and even doubt herself and love, and she knows you're telling the truth, because I could tell her no matter what on Facebook, she always comes back to, this is my son, I love him, and he's telling the truth. I mean, by her post. And that must be very difficult. And I admire that. I admire that so much. I admire your mom, because having to sit back and watch you get this knowledge, and watch you have these experiences that other people cannot understand right off the bat, that's very difficult. And she stands right behind you all the time.
yeah. Thank
Even
you.
when you make her mad, like a son will make a mother mad, or my son can make me mad. It's that's still different. She always, bottom line is, this is my son, and he's been chosen to do this, and it's painful for him, but I'm gonna always be there. You mess with him, you mess with me, and I love your mother for that.
Yeah. With my experiences, I've always said it's been a blessing, but and like I don't want it to become a curse. And I suppose even in my astrology and stuff, it says like I need to find a way to express to tell my story in a way that people will be willing to listen to it. Um, and and I find that the more the more of an audience or more people that find out about my story, the more the activity or the interactivity happens between me and the UFOs, such as the crop circles and etc. And other experiences. And I think it's only just begun. I'd like to think that we can all get on board and take it to the next level.
Yeah, you are in a position where I personally feel, from my own life experiences and things that have happened, that you're going to be alone. I think we talked about that before, that there's always going to be that feeling of being set apart, which can be lonely sometimes. And I feel for you for that. But I think the reason is because you have a specific message, and you have connections, and some of the people that you will ask for help, or who could really help you get out there the way that you should be out there, they aren't going to do it. That's like you going up to a professional baseball player, someone who's like really at the top, and you could play better than them, and you go up to them and say, would you help me, can I play baseball with you in public, can you help me get out there? They're not going to help you.
Yeah,
Because they know that you play better than them. And I think I've seen that with some of the people that you've mentioned before. And there's one person in particular, I think he'll break down because he made the mistake of loving you. But it's difficult for him when he knows that your message is a little stronger than his. The ego steps in the way. So yeah, you can interact with these people and network with these people, and it'll be a good thing. But you have to remember that if you're kind of better at it than they are, they might have an issue with it.
Yeah, as you said, I've sort of accepted that that possibly the message that I have to tell, or this whole story about my experiences and stuff might not even not find the correct eyes or ears until I'm gone from this world, if you know what I mean. So maybe it's for something that's going to happen a long way down the line. It's like in the future, or I'm not sure, but I just feel as though if I follow my gut instincts, as I have been since the experiences with the contact with UFOs, that's what it leads me to always, is to do the best I can, like write the book, try and make whatever video, like people watch videos these days and stuff. So most people know all the characters to the bloody Games of Thrones, and they know what happens at the end of the Games of Thrones, and it's just a silly TV show. But hopefully one day, like as you said, the right people will learn my story, or will and know that I'm just telling the truth, and will be able to maybe reap the benefits from it that I was unable to obtain. But I won't stop trying. I'll never stop beating this drum. I won't stop trying until my last days, you know. So hopefully, whether it's now or in the future, hopefully it'd be nice to see it
Wow.
myself. Sorry.
You know, I've read a lot, and I've, just interested in different things along that line. And but the difference in what you write and what you say in your experience was different. And like I said, it was more like you're all part of what's going on here, but you're part of what's going on there too. And their experiences don't touch people on the emotional level that your book did. And your experiences seem like that'll be, let's say, easier for people to reach out to you as soon as they feel like that's available, because they can relate, and you are emotional about yours. It's not like look at me like everybody else. You should have a right to do it, and it's interesting to look at in that way. But you have the emotions that would be attached to a personal experience that people can relate to, emotions attached to a personal experience.
Yep.
So that yours will help people personally more. And I think that that's where some of and I'm not saying these are bad people. I mean,
Yep.
that they're doing what they do, but there's going to be a little bit of like, well, who in the hell is he?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
You're cuter than all of them too.
Thanks, Mirabai.
And that's probably an issue for them too, because you could really stand up there and not say anything, and the young ladies will still come listen to you. So make sure you use a lot of pictures.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But and like I said on my last interview with James Borg, I said that it frustrates me, but a little bit off topic, I suppose, but it frustrates me to watch the latest video will come up on my news feed on YouTube, and it will say top 10 paranormal experiences or UFO abductions or something like that. And like I said before, I don't see my experiences, which should be in the list, and but they never see them in there, so I tend to not even bother looking into anyone else's stuff like that anymore, and I just stick to my own truth, what I know, like as you said before, what I already know intuitively and psychically or whatever, I don't know, but and I just about some of my inner guide or my higher voice. So hopefully it's all for the greater, like the higher cause, like as the name of my book is, the higher cause, But thank you so much for talking with me tonight, Mirabai.
Yep. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, like I want to do a few more conversations with a few more people, and hopefully I'll be able to piece it all together and make another
I hope so, because I feel like time is of the essence, and I feel like you're getting out there.
It definitely is.
And
Time is.
and it'll be good for all of us. So it'll be good when you do that. You have so much to say, and I hope people really read The Higher Cause and watch your documentary and look at your videos, because they're very creative, which makes them easy to listen to. But there's so much knowledge and experience in them that I think would be good for people to listen to, and read your book, The Higher Cause.
Thank you, Mirabai.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, just wanted to say that.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
And
You have a blessed day.
thank you so much, and hopefully one day we'll get to meet each other. The current state of global affairs is one of stress, anxiety, and fear. Being gaslit by the government, brainwashed by the media, the balls have turned blue, and you don't know what to do. Tune into Blow Hard Radio.